Hi guys, this is Cindy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to Paper Old and New. We have been working on these sunflower journals, and the last time we got some papers put into the signatures. Now I have gone back and selected some other papers, and this is the one I wanted to show you. I've rearranged a few things and I've added a few things, and we're going to add a few more. So I got some pages out of an old 1930s textbook, and what I had to do was glue two together to make a page wide enough to fold. And then we have I've added some vellum. So we have this, and then I've added some wallpaper. This is from the 70s, one of the 70s wallpaper books. And I've backed it with some coffee dyed paper. And then I added some music, and I've moved the bag and coffee dyed paper into here. So we are going to try and put, we're going to try and replicate this. Oh, something else I found that I wanted to add, one last thing. Look at this, guys. Do you know what this is? See the imprints on it? Okay, so I print digital things on my printer like this. So I have some sunflower images for embellishment in my journals. And then sometimes what I do is I take them, and because my printer is a laser printer, so I can go ahead and once I've printed something, I can coffee dye it. Because this is toner baked into the paper, lasered into the paper rather than ink, like an inkjet sprays ink on. So if you try to coffee dye inkjet, the ink will run or blur or, whatever. The only drawback to baking these is I bake in layers. And when I baked these the first time, the toner, when you get it hot, apparently it sticks to the page above it. So what I decided to do to try and prevent them from sticking together and tearing them when I baked them was I stuck wax paper in between them. And I wasn't expecting to get anything from the wax paper. I was expecting it to just go in the trash. But guys, look at this. It died because of the coffee. I don't know if you can tell that. It got some imprints on it from what it was sitting on top of. And it is all crinkly. So I said, well, why not put it in the journal? So we are going to add this into our journal. The question is where? Maybe right here at the beginning. What do you think? So we're going to add a piece of this in here. And I don't know if we're done at this point or not. But I know that it's only going to be a one signature journal. And we'll count the pages and see where we are for Pete's sakes, when we get all of the pages in the other three. So now I'm going to show you what we did to get the other pages. So first off, let's take this one and we'll get all the pages in this one. So the first thing we're going to do is put in a piece of wax paper. Okay, so that'll go in there just like that. I just love the texture. It's like a really thin, really nice, crinkly piece of paper. And it was a bonus because I wasn't even trying to get the wax paper to be anything. Okay, and then I moved the bag. So we're going to move the bag. Let's get this out of here. What did I do? Okay, so we'll get this out of here. And I know I said they weren't all going to be exactly the same, but I'm trying to, when I find something that works, I'm trying to kind of stick with it for all of them. Uh-oh. Hang on just a second, guys. I got to find the school book pages. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, so basically what I did was when I discovered what I was going to be doing for this, I went ahead and tore them out of the book, and I tried to get pages that, they didn't have to be, but I tried to get some pages that were kind of like, I don't know, about farming. Since it's because I mean, obviously there weren't like a ton of pages about sunflowers, but they're growing plants. So I figured we could give that a shot. Now, how I did this was I glued it. So if I line this up here, I said, okay, starting at 8 inches, going to 19 inches will give me 11 inches. And 11 inches is what we're looking for to get, to get our 5.5 inch pages. So basically what I do is I glue, we'll put glue down the side of this one. And then down the side of this one. And then we'll line this back up. I know I do a lot of mathing. Line that back up, and there we go. And I glue along the edges so that there's not glue. No glue in the middle is on purpose so that it makes it easier to fold. I'm not trying to fold through a bunch of wet glue. And I can go ahead and fold this, and then, you know, it's ready to go. So that will go right in here. Like that. And then I moved the green dyed paper because it added color where this aged textbook paper is, and I don't have to worry about it matching any of the greens in the scrapbook paper, right? So we add that in there. See where we are here. You can see me flipping on the side over here. Okay, and here's our white, the back of our other sheet. Now let's see what the inside of this one is. Okay, so this one is the yellow. Now all I did with the vellum was, and I have 2 different colors. Oh, for Pete's sakes, I keep losing stuff, guys. Okay, so I do have 2 different color vellums. This one I did blue. You can see the blue to go with the truck since that's what it was up against. This one I'm going to do yellow since it's up against the sunflowers. And you need to hang on just a second. I had to go get my cutter. Okay. This is what happens when you go upstairs and do stuff in front of your TV. So we're going to cut the vellum to be a page, just like we did the scrapbook paper. So we need it to be 11 inches. I have a little strip of vellum to use for something. I'm sure I'll figure something out. By 9.5 inches. Okay. Now we'll set this aside, because if we're going to do all 3 of these, we're going to need it again. So this is going to go sure we get that crease good. This is going to go here. Now, what did we do? Oh no. Did I lose it already? Is this it? Oh, this is it. Okay. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you this. Okay, this is coming from these wallpaper pages. from the Bright wallpaper book. I get it in a second. I tore out several pages. I think I've got some over here to make embellishments and journal cards out of, and I've got a couple that I wanted to make pages out of. Let me make sure I grab the right half. 11 by 9. Now, the width of these determined the fact that these are only going to be 9 inches high. So they're not as long as, or as tall as the book, but they work good. Now, what we have to do is put them on some coffee dyed paper. What I was going to do was, where's this going? Right here. Okay. Let's do, how about this? Maybe it would be fun to have some of this in here. What do you guys think? That might be kind of fun. Okay, so basically all we're going to do is glue this down. Now this took me a second because I'm using this. I don't know how much glue is left in here, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to use it. But I'm trying to use it up. Not that I don't like it, and actually as far as it goes, it's like putting on wet glue, but a glue stick. So you've got like the spreading power of a glue stick, but it's a wet glue. And it is, I know Pam over at Paper Outpost likes the Scotch Create glue sticks. This is Scotch Create also, but it's their glue pen because it's dual tip. So you've got this padded tip on the one end that you can squeeze the glue out of, and then on the other end there's a nozzle like a pen that you can squeeze out of, like if you wanted a line of glue. But I like using it for this because I think it holds better than glue stick. Now, granted, I have been using it a lot for this kind of thing, and I'm running out. So we'll see if I'm able to get through all 3 of these, because I don't have another one of these guys. I have to go out and get one. When I'm filming this, it's just before Christmas. I will be out at Hobby Lobby. We have a little tradition in my family I have been doing for a few years where I go to a store and I get a Christmas ornament for each one of my kids. And I do it because, you know, eventually they'll be out with homes of their own and, you know, that sort of thing. And I thought it would be kind of nice for them to have a box of ornaments to take with them to decorate their first Christmas trees whenever they move out or, you know, whatever. So we do that every year, and the place that I normally buy from around me closed. So I am going to probably buy ornaments. They have some really nice ones at Hobby Lobby, so I'm probably going to go there and buy my ornaments this year for the kids. And while I'm there, I might pick up some more of those glue pens specifically for this purpose, because they work really good for this. And I feel like this glue, it is a wet glue, so it still does the thing that, you know, it curls paper and all that, but it holds better, I feel like, than a glue stick. And maybe that's just me and my bias against glue sticks. I don't know. There's not something else on the floor. I am losing a ton of stuff down there in my pit of never return. I think I said in another video the way this is set up, and if you go back and you find the video where I gave you a tour of my craft room, the little table off to the side where I do the thumbnails, behind that, because it doesn't sit all the way back against the wall, so behind that there's like this little open area, and over top of it now I have put a little shelf, and things fall down inside there. because there's a shelf over top and the big table in front, it's really hard to get to anything because I also have stuff stored under the table, and it's just a mess. That's what happens when you have a tiny space to fit tons of stuff in. Because I have tons of stuff, which makes me, I'm so excited to be using like the wallpaper and stuff that I've shown you guys, and finally like putting together some of these journals that I planned on doing, like the sunflower journal that I, have been wanting to do since my first Goodwill haul. I think it's my very first Goodwill haul is where I found the little party pack that came with these placemats that I made the covers for these journals out of. Okay, so there we go. And then we just fold it in half. Now, I'm probably getting glue all over my... mat. All right, so we're going to fold it. I'm going to go ahead and fold it so we can get it in there. Ideally, you would probably want to let it dry, but, I mean, it doesn't have to dry. Now, I will say this. Some of this wallpaper is old, so it tends to be... Let me make sure it's not doing what it did on the last one. Yeah, it did a little bit of trying to bubble out in the other direction, pop up instead of fold in. But the wall, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it, but it peels. So, I mean, it's old, but that's going to be sewn in, right? So now we go find our vellum, and this goes behind the vellum. Ooh, yellow covering yellow. That might not have been the best of ideas. I don't think I have a... Well, it's not horrible. I could always, you know what, and I think I will. I'm going to trade this out. So this one's brown. I'm going to trade this out. We're going to put the yellow one in here with the blue. Yeah. And then we'll put this one in here with the brown. Yeah, that's better. See? All right, so then we had the vellum, we had the wallpaper, and then you have a piece of scrapbook paper, which I have covered with coffee dyed paper, which we're going to take out because we don't want that there. Because that's going to go with the book. I mean, with the, I'm going to have to do something about that, guys. I can't believe I did that. Actually, yes, I can. I can totally believe I did that. Okay. So looking inside this one, the next thing is the music sheet. So let's grab a piece of music sheet and fold it in. I'm leaving the frayed bottom on. I don't know if it will stay or not, but for now, it's going to be there. Okay, and then inside the music sheet, we have the bag and the coffee paper. Oops, other way. The bag and the coffee paper. All right, and there we have another one all set up. So that makes journal number 2 pages in. Okay, let's close it back up and begin again. You guys ready to go through another one with me? See how this goes? All right, so next thing we need to do first, the wax paper. So here's my wax paper. I have a bunch of these, guys. Look at all this. Is that not awesome? I love this. Now that I know that it does this, that one's torn. Now that I know that it does this, I'm going to be doing this like every single time I dye things with Every single time I dye things and that have been printed on my laser printer, wax paper is going in between. Because then I get all this really cool crinkly paper. I mean, how do I pass that up? All right, I think what I ended up doing was, because of the width of the paper, the width of the paper is just over 11 inches. So what I ended up doing was cutting the 9.5 this way. On that one, I only cut them 9 because it was long enough to get 2 9-inch pieces. On this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut, well, actually, I'm going to let this be the overhang, and I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're cutting at the 14. I need my cutter, and I need my ruler, which is missing. And that's the way it goes. Okay. I don't think I can cut the wax paper on the cutter. I think that it will tear it. And I don't want to take the chance because I did try to cut the wallpaper on the cutter, and it's not strong enough to do that. I really have to go out and get myself a real cutter, guys. That's really what it boils down to. Is mine died, and I thought, you know, I'll just make do with the rotary cutter and the 5-16, the rotary cutter and, you know, the mat. But if we're going to be honest, this is slower. So, I mean, it's not less accurate. I mean, I still get good cuts. It's just slower. Okay, so here's our front for this one. I love this, the way this, I love it. All right, and we'll cut that one when we do the next one. Okay, I should open this up so that it's at the ready. We will be putting this right in here. Okay, so we have that. Now, I'm telling you guys, I go through this process with every one of these because I will forget. My memory is horrible. Don't get old. What can I tell you? I know we can't help it, but I'm just saying. Okay. I'm grabbing my textbook sheets. Sorry, I'm off camera. All right, and we are going to do it again. We're going to go at the 8. I'm going to lay this over a little further just because it gives me a little bit more elbow room and I'm not banging things around. I've squeezed myself in here, so it's like trying to function and I don't have enough. Oh, I grabbed the extra. I don't want to glue that down. That's for the next book. Okay, so from 7 we need to go to 18. Let's do our, I'm going to go ahead and put the glue down. That way when I line it up the first time, it'll be, I mean, I told you how I did it in the last, for the last one, so we should be able to just put the glue on and do it, right? So we're going to do this 11 inches wide and add it to our book, and then we have our textbook page. I was trying really hard to make, to give myself lots of different, you know, textures and different kinds of page to go in this book because, you know, I'm trying to vary it so that it's not all scrapbook paper. Because, I mean, I can make journals out of, oh, I did it. I can make tons of journals out of just scrapbook paper. I have a ton of it. But, I mean, that's kind of boring, right? So, I don't want anything to stick to it. I'm not using my glue mat, and it's getting all over my thing. Okay, so there we go. Oh, I glued them down. Oh, no, it goes like this. Okay. Fold that. Crease that. And add it to our book. All right. And I know I've been talking about how these are not all going to be the same. And they're not. They still aren't. Even though I'm doing the pages in the same order, this is just to help me make sure that everything I want in the book is in the book, as far as the pages go. All right, so what color? Okay, these are our options for the other two things I was going to use for the wallpaper. I think I'm going to use, you know what, actually, let me check something. Let's check this, John, just so I don't mess this up, because I want to make sure I have the right color to go. This can use either the yellow or the blue, and I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't use the blue on this one, just because I thought it would be fun to have the blue. I think I am. And if I'm going to use the blue on this one, then I'm going to use the yellow wallpaper. Okay, so let's put this back. So we need the yellow wallpaper. We'll put this over here. So we need to cut our vellum and our wallpaper. And we're going to use the blue vellum. Okay. I don't remember. I had a couple of sheets of blue vellum and a couple of sheets of yellow vellum, and I know I bought them for a reason, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm using them for this instead. Because I don't remember. Okay, so by the nature of the wallpaper, the 11 has to be this way. So, and like I said, I tried cutting this wallpaper with the cutter, and those blades don't go through this wallpaper very well. They tear it. It bunched it up and tore like a big hole in one of the pieces that I was using. So yeah, we're not doing that anymore. I'm holding on to these because my idea was later down the road, I was thinking about making pockets. See, I'm taking an inch off is basically what this boils down to. That gets rid of the holes. As if you guys couldn't guess why I was doing this. But I thought it would be fun to now take this paper and make pockets with it. All right, let's glue this down to its... What do we want to do with this one? I'm going to do basket polka dots. That looks like fun. That was baked on a pizza pan with holes in it. That's why it's got polka dots. Okay, so now we have to see if I can get... I'm telling you guys, I don't know if I have enough left. I can't see. The label doesn't allow me to see how much is in here. Anybody else doing like a... This will be... I'm doing these in stages, these firsts. Like I did a first journal. And it was a first journal and a first little golden book. So I decided to make my first journal a little golden book journal. And if I'm honest, it turned out okay. I'm sure that I will improve over time. You know. Plus, like I said, I did not have... I mean, the amount of stuff I had available to me was nil because... Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see. You see what that says? This wallpaper pattern is called Cindy's Plaid. I chuckle every time I read it. So, I don't know. I think we're going to be able to get this one squeezed out. No pun intended. But I don't know if I'll be able to get the last one. All right. Put this down. Right on there. Okay. Now, make sure we don't have any air bubbles. Make sure these edges are good and down. This has a tear in it. But since I'm gluing the whole piece down, and then I just caught the tear. Of course I did. So, as I was saying, decided to make my first journal a little golden book journal. And I had no stash or anything to work with, so I was doing it as I went. And it ended up being a very long process. And it came out okay, but it was really fat. Now this time I decided I'm going to lose my scissors. That's what I decided to do. I just had them. Seriously. Aha, buried them. This time I decided, well, first of all, I wasn't actually going to do any journals. I was just going to mass make ephemera until I had like loads and loads and loads of it. And then start making journals again. But I was like, I kept fumbling around and I kept looking at this sunflower journal kit thing that I had put together in my little basket and how much I keep talking about it in videos and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to start them. So my first journal project was a little golden book. My second journal project is a mini mass make because I'm doing 4 at once. Which is the other reason why I keep trying to do the pages kind of in the same order. I'm trying to make it at least somewhat easy on myself. Being that these will, as a total, be my second journal that I ever make. It's just that this one happens to have 4 in the group. And like I said, we may only be able to, well, at least I can get everything done except maybe I might not be able to do the wallpaper in the last one. Just because that, okay. Okay. Now, let's make sure this is flat before I try to fold it. And we're going to fold it over and make sure that it's folding correctly in here. Okay. Crease it. Open it. Make sure that's all down. See, I have one spot right here that's bubbling out instead of folding into the crease like it's supposed to. I swear that feels like there's something there, but there's nothing there. I don't know. Okay. So now let's cut the vellum, and then we can put both of these pages in. I'm just going to do this on the cutter, because this cutter will cut vellum. So we needed 11 inches. And then I'm going to cut off this because it's got a crinkly folded piece. 11 inches by 9.5. All right. We'll fold this one, and that's I think that's the last of the complicated ones anyway. Everything else just tucks in. This goes on top of here. Like that. And then this goes in here. Let's pull this down and we'll put it in where it goes, which is right here. Okay. Now inside this one is where we put the music sheet and the coffee dyed paper with the bag. Huh. This music sheet has a blank area. Okay, so this goes in here like this. And then this tucks in the middle. Like that. And we have another one done. Well, you know. All right, that's 2. Okay, so we flip back to the beginning and we start again. One more. Where are we? All right, we can do this quick. So the first thing we need is our wax paper. We're going to take 9 inches of this. That's the 18, so we'll go back to the 9 and we'll just cut it off there. Alright, lay that aside and do our 11. It's going to be easier to cut this way. Just because I'm that handed. All right, let's fold it. And we got that one. Okay. So we're in one. Now we take this out, lay it aside, open this up. All right, let's do our schoolbook page. See, it's kind of nice because once you get an idea of what you need to do, this kind of all just goes. All right, so here we go. Folding over, and I'm just going to tear that off. All right. So that's our page in there. And then we want the green. It's right on the other side. We want the green dyed paper. Green dyed paper. And then right in here is where we put the wallpaper. Now, question is, because we did the yellow one, we're putting the green one in here. So let me cut this. Actually, we're going to cut this half because see all the tears in this? We're going to try and get our 11 inches from this side so that we don't have all of those torn spots in our... So from 21, if I go to 10, that gives me 11 inches, and that will work because that cuts off all the torn spots on the end, and I can... I mean, obviously, if I had to use the torn spots because I couldn't get rid of them, when you go to decorate the pages and whatnot, you can obviously, keep the torn spots in mind. If you don't want them showing, then you can cover them up or, whatever. All right, now this one is, we're taking an inch off. This is what I've done for every single one of them. I just go at the inch mark and I cut. Whatever comes off, comes off. And that's what we lose. Okay, well, not really lose, but you know what I mean. All right, now for this one, I think I'm going to use coffee splattered basket paper. And we're going to see if we can get enough glue to do this last one. This wallpaper, it's really brittle. It tears really easy. It's just paper. It's not like the 40s book that was vinyl on fabric. This is just paper and whatever they coated the paper with. See, there's a little tear there. Just from me moving it, my thumbnail caught on it and tore it. So it's very, very brittle. It's really, really fragile. So it would not withstand being in the book unbacked. I think that it would tear up and get destroyed. So it really, really does need the reinforcement of being backed. So this isn't just for, cover up the brand name purposes. This was for the page lasting. I mean, I know all paper tears, but this stuff is really, really, it's just really fragile. I think I got enough, guys. I think we're going to get it. We did it. So unless I find just some really exciting, some kind of paper that I want to stick in here, I think we're about done. I was actually thinking about getting some of that, what do you call it? You know, the ledger books, the column paper that you can buy in books at Walmart or Staples, and the paper is actually green, and then it's got all the little columns. It reminds me of, the grade books I used to see when I was in grade school. I'm sure teachers keep grades on computers now, but that's what the column books always remind me of, is a teacher's grade book. So we will get all the pages in on these, and then I will do some planning for embellishments and, I'll look it over and see what kind of pockets, what kind of stuff we want to put in here, and then I'll do it on camera. So you guys will walk through these journals with me as I go. I think I will build these entirely on camera. So you can watch the process happen. Good, bad, or ugly, you can watch the process happen. Okay, let's fold this over. I tried to stick, my main colors going into this, it's sunflowers, and the scrapbook paper is adding colors in certain places that I'm not necessarily putting in or taking into consideration for page additions, except for, the vellum, where I added the blue vellum. That one did really bad. I just feel like it's wrinkling up on me, and it is in some spots, but okay. So then this will go in here, kind of break this up. And then on top of that will go our vellum. Now, which vellum did we save? Probably the yellow. It makes sense. So let's cut our vellum. And then once we get the vellum cut, it's just a matter of adding the music sheet and putting the pages in order. And we will be all set. And then we will have all 4 of them. I think signature's done. I don't know. They almost don't seem thick enough to me, but in the same token, we still haven't embellished them. And I don't know how fat they're going to get, because, the little golden book journal that I made got really fat, in some places. So I don't know what to expect. as far as how this is going to end up being thickness wise, but I want it to have a decent number of pages. And I'm wondering if here and there I should just throw in some more coffee dyed paper or some plain paper. Should I throw in some plain white paper? Okay, and there we have that, which I like. And then we have this. And now we have our coffee dyed paper and our bag, which go in the middle. All we need is our music sheet, which is right here on the sunny side of the street. I thought that was very appropriate for a sunflower journal. Okay, I put the sunflower journal in the way. Now I got no room to fold. This is going to end up being crooked if I'm not careful. So yeah, like I said, I'm still prepping for Christmas. I'm waiting for some things to come in from online orders. I'm hoping that it all gets here before Christmas. I told my youngest daughter, I said, you might be getting Christmas presents after Christmas. And she was like, that's okay with me. It just extends the amount of time I get to open gifts. So she was all okay with it. Okay, now, my wax paper is dangling out the bottom, but I think that's just because it's uneven. Yeah, there's plenty of room to move it up. The one thing that I might have to do is trim the music paper because it's going to stick out. Well, maybe not. I was going to say it's going to stick out past the end even when I fold this over, but it might not. But I might still trim that off just to make it even with the rest of the pages. So there we have it, guys. Now let's count what we got. I don't count this as a page. That's the inside cover that's going to get glued down. So we have our wax paper page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the bag, and 10. So counting the wax paper and the bag, there are 10 pages, 10 pieces of paper, 20 pages total. So I don't know. I feel like for a single signature, that's not a bad amount. I want these to be nice and puffy. I thought about trying to find 5 more pieces of paper, or I guess to get 25 pages in there, I would need, it's got 20 pages. I couldn't. I would either have to do 24 or 26. So if I can find 2 or 3 more pieces of paper, I may add those in and share it with you, but we will be on the embellishing phase next, or at least the adding pockets and things like that. That'll be our next step. Pockets and tucks, right? So here we are, guys. Sunflower journals, signatures done, 4 of them. I'm really excited about how these are coming. I can't wait to see how they turn out. I mean, you know, you use your imagination and you think you know how it might turn out, but you know, it's never. Anyway, so thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. I hope you'll be back and go through putting pockets in it with me. Feel free to leave me some comments down at the bottom if you have any suggestions or ideas. I'm always open. So I guess I will see you guys next time as we work on these journals together. Bye-bye.